For all the honeys in the Hyundai. For all my dreams, you know it's alright.
What's good, YouTube? This is Sam from Mammals Gaming, back at it again. We have a special deck profile. Well, special, not so special deck profile here for you today. We have Steven Osiris.
Hi. Hi.
What did you do last weekend?
All right, so we were at YCS Orlando, and we ended up bubbling. But wanted to show off the deck profile that I brought over. It was nothing too crazy, just Fiendsmith Ryzeal. Deck I've been playing for a hot minute. Just the most comfortable deck choice, and I really didn't want to pick up Mitsurugi cards and learn the combos 1 week into the event. Definitely had a lot of time to practice it, but I'm kind of lazy. So we stuck with Fiendsmith Ryzeal. The event overall was packed. It was packed. 22-23, I think it was.
2200. It's like 22-23, yeah.
Yeah, which caused a top 64 cutoff. Going into... So day one, I ended up with an X2 record. Pretty good record for day one for top cut. But day two...
It was probably the lowest you could go.
Yeah, the lowest you could go on day one.
X2-1.
Yes. And then day two, I ended up losing round 10 and 12, which was devastating. But overall, the deck performed really well. I had no real complaints with the deck except for the bricking on rounds 10 and 12. But yeah, what was it? 9 rounds?
9 rounds of Swiss.
Day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I played in the entirety of the event 9 Ryzeal variants, the majority being Fiendsmith, 1 Mitsurugi, and 1 Pure.
Did you play any Malice?
I played 1 Malice the entire event, 1 Ubel, which was a pretty high up, and it was round 7 I played Ubel. They were at X1 record as well. And then probably one of my more memorable matches was round 6 against this older gentleman playing OG Stun.
Yeah, no, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, he was playing the Fossil Dynas, the Moon Mirror Shields. It was insane.
Fossil Dyna, Moon Mirror Shield, Shifter, and Necro Valley.
Yeah, and he had Necro Valley all 3 games.
What a menace.
Yeah, honestly.
Shout out round 6 opponent.
Yeah, shout out to him. He's a super cool guy. I actually ended up sitting next to his son, who was also in the event, the day 2. But yeah, no, that was my hardest matchup for sure.
Almost lost his stun.
Almost lost his stun in 2025. Not even Runic stun.
Like actual stun.
Yeah, but overall, like I said, the event was fun. Hanging out with the Mammals. Great time as always. Shout out to Merlin Simon. You know who you are. But yeah, I'll show you my deck profile now. So let's get to it. So we ended up playing 3 Ice, 3 X, 3 Sword, 1 No. Just maxing out on all of the Ryzeal cards. Just needed to play Max Engine because I'm notorious with bricking with this deck. So figured maybe the extra copies will help. So,
in your opinion, which one's the worst?
Node. I hate opening Node.
No. Like, obviously, aside from Node, which one's the worst?
Which one's the worst?
So, like, if it's your only starter, which one is the absolute worst?
If it's my only starter, most likely X'd. Because it just auto-locks me into everything.
I would actually argue it's Sword.
I'm between X and Sword.
Because if you have X, yeah, you don't get Fiendsmith, but you get everything else. If you just have Sword, you just lose to anything.
Yeah, it's a rough one, but
both of these suck to open as your only starter.
Yeah, so before the event, these were the 2 that I wasn't maxing out on, but talking to the teammates, I was like, might as well just max out on Engine. But they performed well. Having the extra copies did come up a lot.
Actually comes up more in the grind game.
It definitely does, especially helps out with cross shuffle back.
When you play 2 and 2, like you start running out of names. So
yeah, the names are so important, at least the numbers. But that's what we played for the Ryzeal main deck monsters. For the Fiendsmith engine, we ended up playing just 3 Engraver, 1 Lacrimal, 1 Lurie. Fairly standard there. Opening the Engravers was such a good feeling until you get drolled, but fortunately I didn't get drolled much during the event. For non-engine main deck monsters, we played 3 Ash, 3 Nib, 3 Valor, 3 Fua, and then the last 2 hand traps being 2 Bestials. I was going to play 3 for the event, but I wanted to keep the deck count just at 42. I drew these a lot, surprisingly, and they did come up when they did. I think one of the only changes I'd probably make with the deck is probably play a 3rd Bestial, or what I'm doing now is Pirellias in the main deck. But this hand trap lineup was solid. I resolved Fulos a lot, which was really good.
Must be nice.
Must be nice indeed, yes. Yeah, so that was the hand traps. For the spells, your standard 3 Bonfire, 1 Brick. I drew this card a lot when I whenever I bricked. This was one of the cards, along with a certain trap card. We played.
I always had this in Node.
This and Node.
Yeah.
Oh, arguably a little better than Paradise.
Arguably.
I played 2 track for this event. Shout outs to Vivek and Tyler and Jojo, who kept yelling at me. Oh, okay, and Sam, for not playing 2 for a while. I would only play 1 because I don't know, I was comfy with 1, but they kept yelling at me to play
Starting
more
track and adding another one off of Engraver, getting the Necroquip draw is so nice.
Yeah, no, those combos were really nice. And you know what? When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And yeah, I played 2. There's argument to play 3, according to them, but I didn't want to search for another one, so I just played 2. Non-engine spells, probably the MVP of the weekend. Triple Talents. That card was so good this weekend for me.
Card was so busted.
Yeah, I ripped so many cards out of my opponent's hands, and only very not often would I take my opponent's monsters. It was always look at hand, and that almost solidified the game for me. Yeah, definitely keeping these at 3.
Ashing a Fua and then Townsing with their hand is disgusting.
Oh yeah, I actually did that several times.
Disgusting, dude.
Yeah, actually against the stun player, he activated Dogmanica Punishment, send an Entis to pop my other back row, which allowed me to Talon's Draw into Bonfire Droplet. The Bonfire got me X that would negate his Necro Valley, which let me go into Fiendsmith combo and sorry, not Fiendsmith combo, Summoning Graver for extra damage, because we were running down on time and he was just stalling out. So I got the damage in. A really good card. And then last card in the main deck is 3 Imperm, 1 Paradise. I do this card way too often.
Dude, I really hate this card. I genuinely think it's an awful card.
Yeah, no, it's just opening sucks and then trying to resolve it.
It's just a single send that it gets you. Also sometimes follow up, but it's just like so... In any situation, it just feels like the worst card in the deck.
Yeah, I was able to resolve the field effect once, which scared me because if they had any other follow-up, I was cooked. I did end up sending an Engraver once for the follow-up, which got me a game, but I draw the card way too often for my liking. But
I did that yesterday. Send Engraver off it. You just get your Engraver and Bestial, and you have to send another one sometimes.
So extra deck. So we played Abyss Dweller, great card. I loved making it when they would send a Paradise with Lacrima, and they just be like, "Oh, well now I can't do anything."
That's another reson why I hate this card. Yeah, this card exists.
Yeah, Dweller was so clutch, and they never had nip for me for when I extended. So I was
so
like,
bad.
Great. Eclipse. I think I only resolved it like maybe once. I honestly didn't really need it too much, but you play it because recursion of dual driving detonator is just too good.
I'll say personally, the only time, anytime I had this on board, they would Ultimate Slayer or Xyz Encore my cards, and it'd just be like it'd be useless.
Yeah,
So
no,
bad.
Encore was definitely an option for this event, but I chose a different card, which I'll show off in a second. Exotenite, just gets your Fiendsmith combo going. It's a light fiend. I actually did use the effect a couple times on the board, which got me a couple games. So super cool. Actually, this card cooked me round 12, by the way, because I wasn't around when this card first came out, and I didn't realize this wasn't once per turn.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, it destroyed me.
Yep.
We played the 2 Detonator, 1 Dual Drive, nothing too crazy. Played the 1 Caesar. This guy, who I'm not going to pronounce right now.
Meteorologic.
Yeah, I'm not trying.
Meteorologic.
aggregator. These are all the XCs that I played. Nothing I would change. I was playing Typhon before, but I felt the Dweller was 100 times better.
I missed Typhon so much.
Did you miss Typhon for the event?
No, it was. It's always a losing move, technically, but
Technically, yeah.
it just feels so bad not having it.
I mean,
it only comes up when you don't have it.
Yeah, also it else the Ryzeal board if it's, you know, a half board of just Detonator and Duo Drive. Links, Requiem, Sequentia, Agnum Day. I know some people were cutting this. I think it's crazy if you're cutting this because you can't out Chaos Angel. Yeah. This card came up so often for me. It was so good. Moon for the bridge. Oh yeah, people were also cutting Moon. I definitely still
we saw the winner, Tavion. He cut Exiton.
He did cut Exiton in lieu of a second Requiem, which there's argument that you could do that for when they Bastille you. But I don't know. I think I would still keep the Exiton because it allows you to play Node, you know, if you don't get too far in your combo.
It also outs Desiree.
Yeah. We played the one Desiree. Speaking of, Necroclip. And probably one of the best cards in the extra deck that I love is Chaos Angel.
I think it's the best card in the game right now.
Yeah, I used it more to out back row that I was scared of. And then go continue my combo. It was really good for that.
Even against Mitsurugi, you summon this, don't activate effect if they have trap. Mm-hmm. You just beat down. It's like you don't activate effect. It's unaffected by all monsters. They have no out for it.
Yeah, no, okay. Yeah. Oh, so I think about these two cards. My round one, I'll go through the rounds as well, but my round one, I tried using Necrophib's effect twice, and he Metatronus me, summoned Chaos Angel, and then just beat the shit out of me. It was hilarious.
Very unfortunate.
So that's the extra deck. You know, best token in the game. Let's see, go for
extra. That's a handsome man right there.
Yeah, that one right there. Side deck, Triple Lancia. You just had to play it. For Malice, I only played one Malice matchup, but funnily enough, I actually used this against the stun player because game one, I make full board, he even leaves me. I'm like, all right, cool, these are coming in. I had an oversight and I forgot, oh, it's a stun player. He's playing Extravagance and Desires and Prosperity. Yeah, it wasn't a fun time. But no, these cards actually came up against them. But game 3, my hand was Triple Lancia, double Imperm. I don't know how I won. It was just a miracle.
That's insane.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. We played Triple Pirellia. We expected Ryzeal to be the best deck in the event, which it was. So I wanted another card to, you know, just draw. I also cited this against the Sun player because he almost summoned Water Barrier Statue.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was playing crazy. We played 2 Meows. I thought it was overkill to play 3 Lancia, 3 Fua, and then 3 Meows, so I just played 2. I actually never saw it, so I don't really have any notes for from the event for this, but...
Well, there's probably a reason why you never saw it.
Yeah.
You only played 2, you fucking moron.
Hey, 2 is a good number. 2 is a good number. But yeah, that's all that he made.
Plays 2, I never saw it.
We played 1 call by, never saw it. Oh, can't play more than 1.
Yeah, I can't play more than 1. That one I have nothing to say.
So Crossout was actually a last minute addition. I was playing Strikes before, and I was debating between Strikes and Judgment, but Crossout was actually really good. It clutched me like a lot of games.
Crossout lost me a game.
Does it? Did it?
I drew 3.
Oh, yeah. It also cost me a game too. It was one of the bricks in round 12. But for the matches that it did win me, it was spectacular. Now, this is the last card I played, and one of my favorite cards is Forbidden Droplet. This card gave me a lot of wins throughout the event. One of my favorite interactions that I had was round 9 of day 1. All I have on my board is a Desiree, Agnum Day attached, set Imperm, set Droplet. He had Fooed me, but I ashed him, so I talent stripped his nib so I could continue comboing. So his hand consisted of Lurie, Lacrima, and Bonfire, and he drew into Tract. So Desiree negated Tract, he goes normal summon. Lacrima, I go, try to use the effect, I go Droplet, send the Desiree, negates the effect. He looked confused, and then I activated Desiree, spinning back, I think it was Sequentia, to send the Lacrima to Yard so he couldn't get into Fiendsmith combo. And then he went Bonfire X. I Imperm DX, and that was just a done deal from there. This was also very good against into my only Malice matchup where he had Albao and Griffin and Yarn. He definitely was trying to set up Griffin, but he let me get into Exciton Knight, activate the effect to blow up his entire board. He goes Albao, chain GWC, and I go Droplet, sending the Exciton Knight because I figured that he had an Imperm set, which it wasn't. It was just a bluff, but Knight sending it for cost was really good in that regard, to avoid that. But no, this was probably one of my favorite cards for the entire weekend. But yeah, no, that's the side deck. So real quick, I do the rounds. Round 1 was Fiendsmith Ryzeal from... My opponent was from Argentina. He came all the way over to kick my ass with Metatronus. Round 2 was Fiendsmith Ryzeal. Round 3, Fiendsmith Ryzeal. Round 4, Fiendsmith Ryzeal. Round 5, Fiendsmith Ryzeal. Round 6 was OG Stun. Round 7 was Ubel. Yeah. Round 8 was Fiendsmith Ryzeal. Round 9 was Fiendsmith Ryzeal.
It's so miserable.
Honestly, I'm okay with the mirror match. I'm fairly confident in my technical play against the mirror. So I only lost to round 1 and round 8 to the mirror. My round 1 opponent was also maining Metatronus, which that really caught me off guard.
Kick the shit out of you.
Yeah, I figured Malice would be the only deck that would be maining it, but this guy decided to take it. Day 2, round 10 was Mitsurugi Ryzeal, which I lose game 1 because my only hand trap is Nib, and he sets up Detonator, dual drive with Cross early. Oh, not early, that's how you're supposed to do it, right? Game 2 I bricked. Round 11 was the Malice matchup, 2 of them. And then round 12 was the pure Ryzeal matchup where I set up full board, but he double Excitons me, and I have no hand traps. And I can't set up. He stops me from getting into Fiendsmith Engine. And he just all gas. X, Sword, Node, and Bonfire to grab ice. It was fucking crazy. And then, unfortunately, game 2 of that matchup, I just bricked. I had Talents, Droplet, Cross out, Ash. Sorry, not Ash. It was, I think it was a secondary Talents. But yeah, ended up the event at an 8-4 record. Definitely would have topped if I had won 2 of my rounds, day 2. As I think 9 X3s made it. I think they started counting at like 55. But ended up at like 147th, I think. But overall, the event was a lot of fun. Having all the mammals around, always a good time. But yeah, no, I can't complain about the deck, except for breaking when it does. But yeah, that's the deck profile that I took over to Orlando for day 2.
All right. Any shout outs?
Shout outs to Mammals, of course. Everyone that helped me with the deck. Last minute and yelling at me for my ratios. Shout out to Despato 1 Supremacy for all our testing circle buddies. Rathu for you. Habib for doing it really well at the event. Shout out to Simon, our good old friend from Europe, and Merlin, Harry too. Yeah, no, that's I think everyone at the moment. If I missed anyone, sorry, really bad at this, but yeah.
All right, catch you next time.
Yeah,
Thanks,
let's
guys.
go. Red said none of this shit will get easier. Best friend flirting with death. Collect winnings from the last check. On to the next. Rinse